Maybe the ending wasn't an ending at all. Maybe I just needed somewhere else to fall. Here's to the beginning, to everything we don't know. There's two. There's a little house waiting at the edge of town. With wildflowers growing where the fence falls down. We'll fill the rooms with photographs and light, make a little life out of ordinary nights. And maybe we'll get lost, maybe plans will change, maybe we'll laugh when the years rearrange. But I've learned that love isn't knowing what's ahead, it's choosing the same hand when the road bends. Maybe all the wrong turns brought me here. Maybe I was meant to find you after all these years. And if this is where our story starts, I wouldn't change a thing. Here's to the beginning and everything it brings.
Hey Simmers, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Hi, how are you? Today I am super excited because I'm starting sort of like a new series on my channel, and I'm super excited. This is something I have had in the works for months and months, maybe even since last year, because technically I have been writing this legacy for a very long time and I still have not yet completed it, but I was really excited to get into gameplay. I'm tired of waiting. And hopefully coming out with episode 1 will kind of motivate me to hurry up and kind of like finish writing the rest, kind of like motivate me to wrap up everything that I'm still working on regarding this legacy. So I have been writing the Sim story for a while, and I've been finished with Gen 1 for a while. It's mainly like the other gens that I'm still like fine tuning and making sure like that's how I want to leave them. So I am planning on actually like writing the full like legacy in a Google Doc and possibly releasing it. But I was tired of waiting, and I have been wanting just kind of like a more relaxing, like cozy legacy to do. And that's kind of what I've been gradually building. And I figured, why wait? Who cares if the Google Doc's not technically done? But pretty much what this series and legacy is going to be is basically all the ways I've wanted to play The Sims rolled into one legacy. And at first I was debating on just making it my own like little series. But then I thought, since I do better at playing The Sims with some like guidance and guidelines, and just to kind of have like an outline for things, and it kind of just like helps like a general direction. Maybe it's just me, but I do better at playing that way generally. And I just thought, why not just take all those ways I want to play The Sims and just mesh them into one legacy? So that's what I have been doing for a long time with this particular legacy, and I think I'm finally ready to get into some gameplay, at least with our Gen 1 founder. So far, what I have for like Gen 1 and like the backstory for your sim is kind of wordy at the moment, and I was debating on changing it to be more readable for people or just leaving it, because I really wanted people, if they end up playing this ever, like I really wanted them to kind of like get immersed into the legacy, especially in Gen 1. And then pretty much most of the other gens are like a lot shorter, but for Gen 1, I figured I would just leave it to kind of really help get immersed into the legacy in general. So I'm still debating on if I should leave it that long, and when I start reading it, you'll see why. So because I play with mods, a lot of the gens are based off of like using different mods. So specifically, like some careers are like a modded career, and that's like a big part of the gen is what they're doing as a career. So if you don't play with mods, I am trying to take that into consideration and like include pack substitutes at least to kind of be a help. This is just personally a legacy based around all the ways I've wanted to play the game and just haven't yet. And that does include using mods that I've always wanted to use. So naturally, those mods are going to kind of be the base of some gens. This is mainly just guidelines and how I personally want to play The Sims. So I've just kind of written this around the different storylines and things that I've been wanting to use. But this is Coco Sullivan. She lives in Innisgreen with her father. And I'm going to go ahead and read what I have on my personal Google Doc. So Gen 1 is coastal hearts and country roads. And I have like a little quote before each gen and kind of like what they're based around. So Gen 1 is, the sea taught me how to endure, the ranch taught me how to heal, and somewhere between the two I found my way home. So growing up in a cozy cottage tucked along the docks of Innisgreen, you learn that life began before sunrise. Your father, a quiet fisherman, and I know I say father constantly in this legacy. I was debating on writing it in third person, first person, even mentioning father, because if somebody wants to change the storyline to mother or something, obviously you totally can. But once again, this is mainly written in the way I intend to play. So just a disclaimer there. Your father, a quiet fisherman with rough hands and a softer heart than anyone, raised you alone after your mother disappeared from your lives when you were too young to remember her. He taught you how to mend nets, identify tides by the smell of the air, and find peace in routines. The sea provided everything you needed, but you often dreamed of something different. While your father loved the ocean, you loved the warmth of kitchens and the smell of freshly roasted coffee beans. On stormy mornings when fishing boats couldn't leave the harbor, you experimented with recipes using whatever ingredients you had left in the pantry. You became known among the neighbors for carrying plates piled high with golden waffles, topped with fresh berries, honey, and whipped cream. The little fishing town couldn't understand why someone raised among bait buckets and lobster traps spent their time sketching cafe layouts and collecting handwritten breakfast recipes. But you never stopped dreaming of owning a cozy waffle cafe where people could gather, laugh, and feel at home. As a young adult, you finally leave Innisgreen, determined to build that dream. Along the way, you fall deeply in love with a charming sim who promises you forever. Together, you plan futures you can't yet afford. You would open your cafe, and they would support you every step of the way. But dreams don't always go the way we plan them. You discovered that the life you'd been planning no longer included you. The sim you trusted had fallen in love with someone else and chose to leave without fighting for what you had built together. The betrayal shattered your confidence. Suddenly, the future you'd imagined felt foolish and far away. Heartbroken and uncertain, you pack what little you own and head somewhere you never expected, and much different than the salty shores you grew up with, the wide open countryside of Chestnut Ridge. You tell yourself it's only temporary, a chance to clear your head and find yourself again, and earn enough simoleons to start over. Instead, you find a community that values hard work, simple pleasures, and second chances. It's here you meet a rancher whose steady presence reminds you of home in unexpected ways. They aren't polished or poetic, they speak more easily to horses than people and understand that trust isn't something to rebuild overnight. They never ask you to forget the life you'd planned or the heartbreak you'd endured. Instead, they encourage you to keep reaching for the dream you nearly abandoned. For the first time since leaving Innisgreen, you allowed yourself to imagine a future again, one where mornings smelled like coffee and fresh waffles instead of salt water. One where love was patient instead of uncertain. And I'm going to stop right there. There's technically more to the gen, but I still haven't figured out if I'm going to leave it or change some things. So I won't go through that right now at the moment. It's really mainly the first part of that that's more important where we're at right now. Something else I was thinking about including in this legacy to kind of help make it fun and just more unique is like having a tradition to like pass down through every gen. Couldn't decide if having a tradition to pass down after every gen would get like too confusing and tedious and like you'd forget to like to do something that was technically supposed to be passed down to you. So I'm still considering, because by the time you get to like gen 10, you'd have like 9 or more things to remember to do by that point. So I'm considering on even including that or not, and maybe just making it like a personal thing that I do in my gameplay, but not necessarily like include it in the official challenge. So that's just something I've been kind of going back and forth about. So this is Coco Sullivan, and basically her story is she has been raised by her father in Innisgreen. Shortly after her father married her mother, she had left him for someone else. And ever since then, he has just been like depressed, heartbroken, and he never remarried or got into any relationship after that. But even through all that and dealing with his own feelings and emotions and just deep depression, he still never failed to be there for Coco. And growing up, he raised her the best he could. He taught her how to fish. And ever since she was a young child, they have continued to fish every single day. And that is how they make their money. That's their only source of income, is from fishing, selling the fish. And the local fish shack at the docks is pretty much their second home at this point. They constantly love watching the sunsets together on the docks as well as sunrise, because they're up before the sun even comes up sometimes. Coco gets up and makes breakfast for her and her father and brews coffee, and they go straight to the docks to fish to make their daily income. But they have a super close bond and they love each other so much. A couple of things Coco likes to do, like as hobbies on the side, she loves reading. She's constantly on the back or front porch and even cuddled up in her room just reading a good book. And I know the legacy officially says as a young adult you finally leave Innisgreen determined to build that dream, and along the way you fall deeply in love with the sim and together you like start planning. But I might change that because that's not how I am starting her story. So like even me myself, even though that's what I wrote, like her story is a little bit different. So she actually already has her boyfriend and she's obviously still at home living in Innisgreen with her father, because I wanted to start the story with her still being here, but also like her having already been dating somebody since high school. So her story and backstory is already different than what I have written. So I'll either change it or leave it how it is. It's just a guideline. She doesn't have to be completely gone from Innisgreen before she starts doing other things that are listed in the legacy. It's not that serious. I've tried to leave room and like be vague in this legacy so people can really let their sims develop their own stories without necessarily forcing them into a box, if that makes sense. So Coco is actually dating Bob Pancakes. Now, I've always wanted to do something along the lines of waffles versus pancakes. I've had that idea forever and I never just fully found a way to like tie it in, but I think this is going to work out. So she's going to obviously open a waffle cafe. Like maybe they'll become rivals at some point and Bob will like open up a like pancake cafe or something silly. So I kind of did that just to kind of open the door for something silly like that to happen as well, which is kind of how I want to do it, but we'll see how things go. So she met Bob Pancakes in high school and they have been dating ever since. We kind of know how their story is going to end up. So I won't get into it and say they're like totally in love. Like, she really likes him, but obviously Bob is going to end up leaving her. I'm sure you all can guess it's going to be Eliza. But from Coco's perspective, she really likes him and she has all these big plans and dreams. But now that I've kind of given you guys a little backstory, and I can go ahead and show you the house. This is a build I found online and I absolutely love it. I was looking for like a fishing shack. This is by Vidara Design on the gallery. This is the Brindleton Cozy Corner. So I was looking for something like fish shack, like something to turn into just a cute like little home in a screen. And I just fell in love with the way this build was. So I took it and I didn't completely gut it, but I did to a point to where I obviously like added new walls and like added a new floor plan to the first floor. And I took out some platforms and such, and then I added in all of their furniture and stuff. And then upstairs, I didn't change a whole bunch. I did change some. So there are some things in here that are new, but I kind of really liked how it was. So I left a lot of it because it just kind of makes sense. Like, it's not too big and it just kind of makes sense for just a father and daughter to be living in a space that's not like huge, but there's like a lot of seating area and she loves to read. Her father's constantly sitting and like reading as well and napping. So this is their home and they live kind of in the middle of in a screen. But yeah, this is obviously where they come to fish daily, and this is the fish shack. So this fish shack I've always wanted to use in a sim story of like somebody growing up on the coast. So just gradually over time, different elements, whether that's like the waffles versus pancakes idea or living in a screen and selling in the fish shack, just different elements combined just kind of created this legacy and specifically Gen 1 over time. And the rest of the gens are also going to be similar and combine different ways I've been wanting to play The Sims and just kind of combining it into one legacy. And I feel like combining it into one legacy is a little bit less daunting and overwhelming than just trying to do it separately, like all at once, if that makes sense. But I thought we could get into some gameplay today. I'm not sure how much we'll actually do, but both of them actually do have quite a bit of fish in their inventory because they fished the other day. I've obviously been playing with them off camera. They constantly have like cats and like different stray animals constantly like appearing on their doorstep. So obviously I've been playing with them both off camera, which is why I love them so much. Coco, like for the longest time, I was playing with her as a child. I obviously was there for when her parents got married, and their home isn't huge, but it is full of memories. There are remnants of her childhood. You can see the pictures up here, and then also they have a keepsake box, obviously. There's some pictures around you've probably noticed of her father and mother when they first got married, and he always keeps a picture of them like beside his nightstand, which is pretty sad because he's never gets rid of it and he always like has it to look at. He's like old and alone now and he still loves and misses his wife. She obviously did not feel the same way, so it's just kind of sad and I feel really bad for him. And I don't even think I mentioned her father's name, but this is Randall. He obviously loves Coco very much, been there for her entire life. I mean, Coco was literally like an infant when her mother left. But because they have fish in their inventory from the other day, I really want them to go to the docks and go and sell their catch so they can have a little bit more money. They only have 800 simoleons. So we're going to go ahead and sell the fish, and we're going to have Coco come here and do the same. So obviously she's at a point in her life where she already has her dream of being a waffle cafe owner. She obviously already has the cooking skill because she does make waffles all the time. And she does constantly like gifting her neighbors waffles as well. And obviously at some point we'll probably get like a sale table and then she could start selling her waffles once she gets the confidence to kind of like start turning it into a business. Let's just go ahead and sell everything. I want her to catch a bass or another large type of fish of some sort so she can like mount it and display it somewhere. I wanted to have like a bass to display, but I know like they're worth a good bit of money too sometimes. So, but I'm just gonna have them fish a little bit and just kind of have a day of like working. And obviously they need to put food on the table and pay the bills, and they're not going to be able to do that unless they fish. So they're going to do that, and while they're doing that, I am going to go make sure like none of the lights in their house are on, because that's electricity that we cannot be wasting. And then maybe later today, Coco can go on a date, maybe with Bob, and maybe they can talk about their plans. Maybe she can kind of explain to him more about her ideas for her waffle business that she wants to kind of start. Oh, wait, did our dad catch a bass? It's not really the same to mount a bass that she didn't catch, in my opinion. So I don't know. I don't know if we'll do that. I might just wait until she catches her own. But yeah, one of the traditions that I want her to do when she has her own children is like go out like every weekend or some day of the week and like go fishing and like kind of teach them how to fish. Not because they're going to need that skill, but just because I think it's a fun like tradition to kind of like pass down and an activity to do with your kids, just kind of as a tradition for her to do like on her own, not necessarily something to pass down. But I think it would be cute because this is obviously how she has her beginning, how her story began, the very first thing she learned, and kind of what her whole life revolved around. So I think it would be fun when she has children of her own to go fishing with them frequently and make that like a little family outing. He caught another bass. I don't remember what level you have to be before you can start catching them because he is at fishing level. Oh, he already has max fishing level. I forgot because obviously that's what he's done his whole life. Who is this? Ooh, this one's a lot of money that she just caught. We'll probably just go ahead and get rid of that. And she's at fishing level 6. So obviously like fishing during her childhood, it's a good head start. Her life does not revolve around the fishing as much as her father's. Like she's going to go out and do something new. So I'm still deciding on if I want her to actually complete the fishing skill. Like she can continue like completing it once she moves out and like goes fishing with like her new love interest in Chestnut Ridge, or like when she takes her children fishing. Like we don't have to finish it, but I wanted her to at least get high enough to where she will catch a bass so we can mount it. But both of their needs are like they're really tired and they need to use the restroom. So maybe I'll just have them fish for like until like 6 or 6:30. Oh, and it's starting to rain. Okay, that's probably a perfect stopping point because I don't think like who wants to fish in the rain? Yeah, it's constantly raining here in Innisgreen, which I absolutely love. Like that's their life pretty much. But we're gonna go ahead and have Randall sell the fish he's caught so then he can go home and take care of himself because he really needs to go. We'll go ahead and sell his bass because they are worth quite a bit. And then we'll have him go use the restroom and go to sleep. And we'll have her do the same. Yeah, she's catching all like the small fish, goldfish, guppy, minnow. But she did catch this thing, which is quite a bit. She actually made more than her father today, I think. We're going to have her go ahead and head home as well. I don't think they need food, really. I think they probably ate earlier before I started filming. So they don't really technically need dinner. Since they're obviously used to getting up really early and starting their day fishing at the docks and such, they obviously have an earlier bedtime and they're really tired and it's only 6:30. So we'll let them do that. And of course, Coco will wake up and brew coffee and make breakfast for both her and her father. And I think they'll get back at it. And then maybe tomorrow she can go on a date with Bob. So we are just going to let them sleep and I will see you all in the morning when she is ready to brew some coffee and make them both some breakfast and head back to the fishing docks. All right, so it is 5:47. The sun is rising. It is almost 6 a.m. So Coco is just going to brew some coffee and start some breakfast for her and her father. So we're going to have her do that. And I'm also going to have her make some waffles for breakfast. So we'll have her do just some berry waffles for now. And we'll have Randall come over here and grab a drink. So Coco has her coffee and Randall is coming up to get his. And at this point, I think that the waffles are probably done. And Coco is just making the berry waffles. And no, Randall, you're supposed to be grabbing coffee and you're not supposed to be eating cereal. So let's go ahead and have him grab his coffee. Let's go ahead. I don't want to waste the cereal that it got out. So we'll just throw that in the fridge or something. So he's having his morning coffee. All right, we're going to go ahead and grab the food. Randall, quit grabbing the cereal. Oh my goodness. All right, we're going to have Randall hurry up and come over here and eat a serving of the waffles because he is hungry. He will not stop trying to get the cereal. So we're going to have them both eat a serving. and then head out to the docks for another day of fishing. I'm not sure why she's not eating at the table, but that's fine. I kind of thought it would be fun to do this series kind of in the form of a long play and not edit too much out, even if like they're just doing something and like I'm not really talking. Like I thought maybe it could be a little bit more relaxing without too much cutting, only when something exciting is happening. But we'll just see how it goes. We're gonna have, oh, somebody's already out here fishing. So it is currently spring, so they have 2 weeks left of spring and then it'll be summer. And I want to change her outfit to her like main fishing outfit. I guess I really haven't even showed you her outfits yet, so I could go ahead and show you. You can kind of see on here. Maybe I'll take her into cast though at some point so you can see them better, but I have this outfit that I love for her for fishing. So this is her like main get up she wears when she goes out to fish. I kind of want her to reach level 7 before they end, but I also don't want them to like fish all day long just because I do want her to go on a date with Bob today so they can chat about future plans and such. Ooh, new personality traits. So I kind of want to implement like a wheel system just with like yes and no answers just to see, like, just to kind of help it be like more random, I guess. Okay, so I went ahead and just opened up Wheel Picker in a browser tab and we're just gonna go ahead and spin, even though it's something as small as like a new trait. Okay, yay, that's what I was hoping for. So we're gonna go ahead and click yes. But like any pop-up like that where it's having us choose something, I kind of want to do a wheel. I kind of think that that could be exciting. Okay, so we were going to go out with Bob anyways, but he's asking us to go to a festival with him. So I really didn't have a plan of where they should go anyways, and he's asking us, so this is perfect. And she was just about to level up her fishing skill as well, but it's okay. We'll level it up when we get back home. Oh, is this the romance festival? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and change our outfit into something a little nicer. Oh, I think this outfit is pretty cute. I think that's cute. Okay, maybe we'll change his outfit as well because this is not exactly what I had in mind. Maybe something like even this would be better than what he's got on. It's not like super like formal, but it's like this isn't a super formal event, but it is nicer than like a sweatshirt and stuff. Oh, it looks like they're ordering drinks. Oh, they're grabbing chips. Okay. So buy the festival t-shirt. Should we have her buy a festival t-shirt with him though? Because she's not probably going to want this later in life when he breaks her heart. Like maybe she'll want to make new memories with somebody else. I have a hard time wanting her to buy a t-shirt here with him, kind of knowing how it's going to play out. We're going to go ahead and order food because she is hungry. We'll do pita and hummus because she is getting hungry. And then we'll also have them go and pour Sakura together. So she's got her pita and hummus, and this girl in this really fancy dress just sat down and started talking to us. So maybe we'll make a new friend. We'll introduce ourselves to some people around here because you never know, like in the future when we do go through a breakup, maybe we'll need some friends to kind of help us get through it. So maybe we'll meet somebody here today. She came over here to pour the tea, and I don't think Bob came over here with us. So I don't know what he's, oh, maybe he already had some. I'm not sure where she's going. Oh, she's introducing herself to Ophelia. Oh no, she's instantly attracted to him. I'm pretty sure Bob was just flirting with that other girl that was here. But we're gonna have them hang out for a little bit together since they haven't really hung out that much recently.
Oh, Ashquambrenable. Oh, Yadaboo. Swobifinarva.
It looks like they're gonna dance together. So the dance animations I have just seem to like be glitchy sometimes. So we'll let them do that and then we'll probably head home since it is getting late. Oh no, guys, this is her mother, Cynthia. So she doesn't have a relationship with her. So we're gonna cancel that out and not talk to her. And we're gonna just go ahead and head home. I'm not sure. I think she moved to the city, I'm pretty sure. So that's probably why she's here. But we do not have a relationship with her. And I don't know if we ever will. So we're just gonna leave her there because she is not in our life at the moment. But now that we are back home, I am going to go ahead and have her come and up her fishing skill just really quickly. Well, it is 11 p.m., so I'm not going to have her do any fishing now. Actually, I'll just wait until the morning when the fish shack is even open to sell anything, and then she'll just up her fishing skill really quick then. But their floors are really dusty and dirty, I can tell. So maybe I should get them like a vacuum or something. I just don't know if they can really afford to spend a bunch of money. Like an automatic vacuum would be nice, but I could maybe see about a cheap vacuum. Or I could just leave it like really dusty and dingy, since that might be something that just comes with being in and out of the house all the time, like constantly going down to the fishing docks, etc. I'm gonna have her come up here and maybe grab a book, and I'm gonna have her read The Game of Groans, and I'm gonna put this in her inventory so she can come in here to her room and read it. We're gonna have her sit here. And I know it's 12 a.m. She needs to go to bed, but I'm just going to have her read since she does love to read a little bit before bed, change her PJs, and she'll just read a little bit before bed. And then she really needs to go to sleep because she's only going to get like 6 hours of sleep before she has to go and fish again. Okay, so it is currently 5 a.m. So I am going to have her go ahead and get up now and go and start breakfast yet again. And I don't think she has made it to the next level of the cooking skill, so she still can only make plain and berry waffles. We'll do the plain this time since it is cheaper, and she's already getting hungry, so it's perfect. So we'll have her start those, and then we'll have her brew some coffee. Brewing coffee and making waffles is pretty much the daily morning routine. And I want to implement that routine like every day throughout her life if I can, and like when I remember. Obviously, every day sometimes might be different. But she's just going to drink some coffee to kind of help with the rest, just to kind of help with a little bit of the energy she did not get from sleeping. And then we'll come over here and we'll pick up the food. And her dad will definitely be hungry by the time he gets up. We're going to have him get up now, actually, because he's full energy. And we'll have her eat a serving, and we'll have him eat a serving as well. Go ahead and fill his hunger. And he also caught the future cube while he was fishing, so I'm thinking maybe we'll sell this since we don't need it, and we'll definitely help with money. With $3.25 for that. And she's been catching like these upgrade parts while fishing as well. Okay, we'll pop these into the fridge. And we'll have Coco. It's 6:55. We'll have her head to the docks and get a head start. Somebody is already here. We'll have her go fishing. And then whenever we can afford to get like a sales table, we'll definitely do that. No, go away. Cynthia came down here as well. We're just going to ignore her. We're not going to talk to her. Oh, you've got to be kidding. First thing in the morning too. Okay, she reached fishing level 7. We're going to have her fish for a couple hours and then sell what she has. And then I want to see how much the sale tables are. Okay, and Coco finally caught a bass, so maybe it's level 7. So it's 29, which is actually on the cheaper side of a lot of bass I've seen. So we're gonna go ahead. He's not our main sim, and obviously he loves fishing his whole life. So we're gonna go ahead and say yes, because that's obvious. So because this isn't like the biggest bass I've seen, I think this would be a perfect one to go ahead and mount. So perfect. We have a bass finally that we can have as decoration and take with us throughout our life, which is pretty much what I wanted her to do. So we don't need to continue fishing. I guess we can because it kind of is our thing, but I don't like how our mom is here. So, okay, I think she's leaving, but we're going to go ahead and sell the fish so I don't forget like before they close or anything. And I'm going to go ahead and have Randall do the same. We're going to sell every single thing in our inventory. We could also sell the mounted, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, not the mounted bass. And then we have, okay, 130 simoleons. Randall has quite a bit of fish that are on the pricey side, and he definitely catches more, I think. It definitely takes Coco longer, but of course she's not as skilled as him because, yeah, Randall made 200. Bob wants to go on a date. Okay, perfect. And it looks like we're at this diner. What world are we in? Are we in Oasis Springs? Okay, cool. Let's go ahead. I kind of want to... Aw, they're hugging. Okay, I'm going to change into like a little... Oh, this is a cute outfit. We'll go ahead and change like into this little skirt number, and I guess let's add him to our selectable sims because I think when I do that and they get the table, he ends up paying out of his pocket, which obviously I would prefer that. Oh my goodness, this is a sim I made and she's working here. So they're gonna request a table, and hopefully we don't have to wait too long because a couple times now when my sims have gone to restaurants and such, like it'll kind of glitch a little bit, and like a couple times they didn't even get a table, but it looks like they got one here. I don't know why Bob's continuing to talk. If you haven't noticed, like he's been like chatty with a lot of different female sims since they've been dating. Like at the romance festival, I know he was flirting with that one girl. I'm not sure if I caught it on recording, but he sure was. Oh, and now he's flirting with us. I just think he's kind of a smoothish talker. We're going to go ahead and have him order for the table. I think he pays for it when we do it this way. The whiskey sour for both of them. And then we'll go straight down to the main course and we'll get a ham dinner for Bob and then a steak for us. Oh, they do have some dessert as well, but we're not going to get that now. The bill's going to, oh my gosh, our mom again. She keeps showing up everywhere. So I imagine maybe they're just like chatting about like their future, about her business that she wants to open. Obviously, he's all for supporting her dreams. We'll have a deep conversation with him, and then we'll have maybe her talk about marriage, just because I feel like that's a serious topic that maybe they would be discussing at this point since they are like planning on building their future together. Oh, he did not like that, I don't think. Yeah, the flirtation went down a little bit after that, so he's definitely not in the mood to talk about marriage, at least with her. So that's pretty interesting. Obviously, we kind of know beforehand. It kind of matches with what's going to happen, but at this point, they don't know that. I didn't get any pop-up that like said his thoughts about talking about marriage, but they did get like negative reaction with each other. So they went ahead and just ordered some cupcakes for dessert, but they're pretty much going to be done. So I think they had a pretty decent date, so they're going to end it in just a moment. We're going to go ahead and head home now that we finished our cupcake. We'll leave him to pay the bill, and he needs to use the restroom really bad. So we're going to leave him to it, and we're just going to go on our merry way. We also need a shower. So when she gets home, we'll have her shower. And then I did want to go ahead and find a sale table and just see how much it's going to cost. So it's actually only 500 simoleons, which is, well, it's almost 600, but it's still less than I thought it was going to be. So I always gravitate towards this beige one with like the plaid. So I'm going to go ahead and get it just so we have it. And we're going to have her put this in her inventory. So she has this and she can now start using it. So at some point when she's able to, I don't know if we'll do it in this episode, but maybe we'll start like selling waffles and stuff. I kind of want her to get to the next level of cooking though before, so we can like have some more options. Yeah, we'll unlock the pumpkin spice, which it's not fall, so I guess it doesn't really matter. We can still make those, but it's just like normally I would wait until fall to like make something like that. But in this case, I might not wait just so we have like another option. I don't know. It's spring. It's the season for like the berry waffles and just like plain waffles. So maybe we won't even bother with it. But I obviously want to unlock the other ones. So I'm still going to have her try to work towards unlocking all of these because I really want her to be able to make them all. This happens every time. My Sims continue to get food poisoning. Let's go ahead and call report food poisoning. And we need to, she doesn't just have to make waffles to get her cooking skill up. She can make other things to put in the fridge because like she can meal prep and like put things in the fridge for like their meals during the week. We did get 200 as compensation for that though. So like let's have her make a cucumber whatever this is, and we'll do a party size, and that will definitely up her skill, and we can just like put it all in the fridge. Cynthia is calling no. So the soup was the gourmet cooking skill, so not the exact same. So I think for the actual normal cooking skill, she's gonna have to make something else, but I don't want all this food to go to waste. So we'll just continue working on it. Like she can continue making waffles to sell or something. Oh, and we need to hurry up and use the restroom before she has an accident and some ridiculous scandal that no one sees. They're gonna somehow hang it over our heads. And I do want to put her bass somewhere in here, so maybe I'll just like stick it there for now. But yeah, she is just gonna do some night fishing before heading to bed. If they've got nothing else to do, walking down to the dock and fishing is just something they really enjoy doing. And it's really foggy as well, so I imagine the weather's like pretty nice. But anyways, guys, I think I am gonna leave the episode off on that note. I just really wanted to get episode 1 out to you guys and have you meet Coco Sullivan and kind of get to know her and like her backstory and kind of the idea behind this legacy. And I'm really excited to finally get into gameplay. I've been wanting to play with her for so long, and I just recently finally felt ready to actually start gameplay. Definitely a lot of prepping, not even including the whole writing of the legacy that I've been working on for even longer. So I did come out with a little trailer for Coco and her story in this legacy, and that was a sign I was getting closer to actually being able to jump into gameplay. And like I said, I'm still nowhere near done with really completing the writing of this legacy, but I figured making episode 1 would really kind of help me and motivate me to hurry up and get it done. But enough of Gen 1 was completed to where I felt comfortable enough to just kind of dive in. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video and hanging out with me today. I love and appreciate you all so very much, and I really do hope you enjoyed. And if you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to my channel. And don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss when I upload another video, and I will see you all in the next one.